Now LinkedIn is actually acting like a social network, just like Facebook and Instagram had when I was able to take advantage of those, 3 to 5 years ago. Now I'm going to be able to take advantage of that now. What it comes down to in social, there's a couple of key things. For the first part is in your mindset. I think a lot of people create content to promote themselves or their company, or to do things that aren't in the best interest of the people that are using it. That's fine when you're writing for a search engine, when someone says, how do I compare pricing between these two vendors, and you serve them up the content that you want, that they asked for. But in social, nobody's asking for the content. So you have to create that they stop and actually engage with and listen to. So there's a lot of people that haven't made the transition from content marketing for search engines to content marketing for dark social, which I think is a huge part of it. Another part of it is a lot of people look at social as a nice to have. And I look at it as the core driver to growth in my company. So there's an executive level mindset where we consult with large financial services companies and things like that. And they're trying to figure out how to get their sales team to post on LinkedIn a couple of times a day, but their executive team doesn't do it. Their VPs don't do it. And they expect that their, individual contributor sales reps are going to be the ones to go and pave the way on LinkedIn. And you need executive level commitment, and it has to be core to the strategy. Most companies are going to spend probably 1% of their go-to-market budget or less on social media content. So it just shows you that it's not a core priority for the business, and it's going to get treated like that when executives look at it that way and budget that way for it. There's some things about, you mentioned, there's some dumpster fires. There's some things about LinkedIn that I think make it incredibly vulnerable as a platform and I think what will come out, and you're already starting to see this happen, is that people they'll probably continue to post on LinkedIn because there's so much awareness and so much ROI to it, but they're going to be mostly engaging in niche social networks or communities that are far more specific, that have a much higher bar for the quality of the content and the quality of the people in that thing. What's going on LinkedIn right now, because they haven't made the transition to prioritize video content first over written content, which is what every other social network in the world has done, but LinkedIn hasn't. And now you got AI in the mix. So you got people that have no relevant experience. They don't really know what they're talking about. They look at what other people post, then they go to AI, then they create a written text post. The LinkedIn algorithm prioritizes it like they're an expert, and then it pushes out a lot of content that is potentially not relevant, not smart, and it could misguide people. So I think as AI continues to grow and content availability, free content availability goes up, people's bar for the content that they believe, consume, and execute against needs to go way up, or you're going to potentially be taking a lot of bad advice. So that's one thing on LinkedIn, how the algorithm continues to prioritize text, I think is a huge miss as a platform, and they should be moving to video first. And I've been talking about this since 2020, because my content was getting plagiarized. That's why I started doing video, just because I would post something one day written. I would wake up the next day and someone in the UK would literally copy and paste and post my post the next day. And I said, this is it. You can copy my text. You're not able to copy my video. That's why I moved to video in 2020. Another thing that makes LinkedIn, I think, vulnerable, and now we're getting into like business consulting for LinkedIn, but we'll get back to the main show in a second, is that LinkedIn has to play both sides of the equation. They make all of their revenue from businesses who want to sell stuff to the users, and then they also need to accommodate for what the user wants. So they're trying to play from both sides here, but all the users are free for the most part, unless you buy Sales Navigator or some of their products. Most of the users are free. When you are a free user, you are the product.
Yep.
So LinkedIn is trying to sell advertising against that. They make money when people send you spam DMs. So people will buy in-mail credits and send spam automated DMs, and LinkedIn makes money when they do that. And so there's a misalignment between what the user needs and the business model of LinkedIn that I think makes it vulnerable as well. LinkedIn's doing a bunch of awesome shit. Their ad product is the best out there. They were the first to create a place where professionals can go and congregate, and I've been able to bear a lot of fruit from that move. So there's a lot that I'm grateful for of LinkedIn, but I'm really pushing them to evolve, make strong evolutions as a social network to continue to make it as a user of LinkedIn, I find myself not using the product as much anymore. I'm committed to posting to it, but I scroll through the feed and I'm like, why am I here? And so I think a lot of people are probably feeling that right now. And they're going to have to do something, or they're going to start losing user attention.